Nice light Pilsner to get the day started.
I feel super bad for him because of what happened in his personal life while he was on tour. That's just crazy.
Well, I don't even know about this.
Look it up. I don't want to say again. I want to keep it respectful.
Oh my god!
You're finding.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I just found out. No way.
Yeah.
I'm
You can
sorry.
do this later.
That is so shocking to
You
me. I
can
can't
do this
believe it.
later. No,
What
you
a
can do this later.
scumbag! Not
Yeah.
Jason Duffner. Not Jason Duffner. Let me be
No.
very clear. Jason Duffner is not a scumbag.
Jason Duffner.
There's another individual who is.
Yeah.
And he may have come out with a really shitty line of golf apparel recently. Number one, I don't think Pine Tree's an insanely difficult course, but given that it makes up a lot of its distance on par 3s and par 5s, there was a lot of holes where I didn't need to hit driver, and in fact, a lot of them I didn't even need to hit 5 or 3 wood. I hit 4 iron on a few.
And again, I don't mean this in a bad way. This is a lot of people struggle with this. I struggle with it. You know that I struggle with this. You are very bad at being the best caddy for yourself. Once you fail at executing the shot the way you didn't, the way you wanted to, then it's like hate on Zach. The exercise that you should do with your players, your juniors, college students, whatever, is you should just go on their playing lesson. If you're doing a playing lesson with them, you should go take some balls of theirs. They hit a great shot. And then they hit their neck. They're going to hit their next shot. They hit a great second shot. Take a ball and chuck it into the woods or chuck it into the high rough and say, all right, that shot doesn't count anymore. I need you to play from here. Mindset's definitely not I suck, because they just hit 2 great shots. They're much more likely to hit that shot well than and again, statistics will prove me out on this. They're much more likely to hit that shot well if you did it over a large sample size than if they themselves hit the shot there. If you just took all their bad tee shots and you just looked at where their dispersion rate was, they'd be a lot closer to their target if you just threw them in the spot than if they themselves hit it to that spot.
Gotcha. I think my issue is proximity to hole ball striking. Welcome back to the Beerly OB podcast. Join with me as always is my friend, brother, Zane Smith. How we doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Just doing a little light ASMR to start this podcast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
What are you drinking tonight, Zach?
Hold on one second. I don't like having that second button down. I'm not a Bubba guy, but I have to have 2 buttons. I feel weird. Anyway,
you feel weird if you have 2 buttons?
I feel weird if I only have 1.
Oh. I
don't know. It's just a personal thing. I'm starting out with another light Pilsner, another Basilisk from Odd Story Brewing Company. I'm going to try and finish this 4-pack tonight. I have 2 left.
This 4-pack.
Let me be very clear.
I only have half of it.
I only have half of it left.
I'm gonna do this 4-pack, but there's only.
I have this one left. It was in a 4-pack. I want to finish it tonight.
I've got the Free State of Smith Brewing Company, the Red Wave.
Very nice. Very nice.
So awesome. I love this one.
Very nice.
Yeah, savor the delicious defeat of those who would take away your sweet freedom. Tap. Pretty good.
You know what gives me freedom, Zane?
What gives you freedom, Zach?
You know what gives me freedom? Whenever I get Barely Out of Bounds merch.
Tends to do that.
And you know what is the great thing is, summer is almost over. We're headed back to school. College students are back in classes. High school students are back in class. Get yourself some Barely Out of Bounds merch. Like this hoodie, because winter is coming. Shout out to Game of Thrones.
Please stop.
And you can get this hoodie. It comes in many colors, and it's a lot of fun. So you should check it out. Link is down in the description below for this specific hoodie, actually. So
Yeah, Ballsy is waiting. Ballsy
stop
is waiting.
calling it that. It's not
That's
ballsy.
the name of our mascot.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's
Oh my
Ballsy. Ballsy's the
Okay.
man. Actually,
So-
Ballsy's the ball, not a man.
So before we get talking about the news, Zane, we had a match today. We played today. It was kind of a match. I knew I was going to lose before we teed
It was
off.
a match, but there's no like. I don't know if it was a match or not.
I mean,
Nope,
I
played
told you I was
money.
I told you I was going to lose before we teed off, and I was right. So
Yeah. I said like.
I literally did on the first tee box. So I was like, well, I'm probably going to lose today.
Lose. You're gonna beat me. How many strokes do you want me to have?
I literally never asked for strokes.
No, I know you didn't, but yeah, I mean,
And I never will.
never.
Never. It doesn't matter who I'm playing. I'm not asking for strokes.
It does depend on who I'm playing. Absolutely. If I'm playing Vince Whaley, he shot a 60 the other day whenever we were playing out there at Creekside.
Mm-hmm.
Like I joined him on the back. I didn't even know he had shot the 60 until the final hole. So me, Mike Pashota, who's also out there at Golf Club, and Vince Whaley were playing Creekside. I joined up on the hole 10, and I didn't know, but he had like 3 lip outs on the last 6 holes. And the 3 lip outs he had on the last 6 holes, the last hole he lipped it out, and Mike Pashota says, Zane, by the way, that putt was for a 59.
It's not bad.
And my jaw, not bad. My jaw hit the floor. 60, Zach, 60.
Yeah.
Not on a public golf course. This is not Bubba Watson going out to the Muni like on his YouTube. This is not that. This is not Bryson playing from the red tees. This is Vince Whaley playing from the tips, PGA Tour, shooting a 60.
First off, not PGA Tour, but go ahead.
Vince is on the PGA Tour. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, like it's not a 60 on the PGA Tour.
No, I'm saying he's on the PGA Tour and he shot 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I think
it's amazing. Everybody listening should be like, Zach, how are you not more amazed by this?
I
like
think good golfers
60.
shoot good scores.
No. Zach, how many players have shot 59 or better on the PGA Tour?
Not very many.
We can actually look this up.
I think it's like 8. 8, maybe 9. I don't think it's in double digits yet. I could be wrong.
On the PGA Tour, here we go. Only 13 different players.
It's more than I
more
thought.
More than you thought. What are you talking about?
I said 8 or 9.
We didn't play freaking Chicopee Woods, and even that would be a little hard. But it's not long enough. It's not long enough. But we didn't go out and play Willowbrook Golf Course in Winter Haven, Florida.
I would argue it's harder to do that at Willowbrook.
What?
Bryson's actually got a good point on this. It's sometimes harder to shoot really low scores at like public courses where the greens aren't as nice because it's harder to make putts.
Well, that's true. Pristine greens are a factor, 100%. The greens were nice. But a 60. You're not on the course record. The course. We have plenty of pros that play at the club. Mm-hmm. No one's ever shot a 60 on Creekside. You're not. I mean, everybody should be like, Zach, do you even ball? Because
I do ball.
60.
I ball so hard.
60. No, not even just 60. A 60 so good, it legitimately. If the ball changes that much over the course of 3 holes, we're talking about a 57. A 57
That's a good round.
I can't even. Let's move on to a different topic.
I don't know what you want me to say. You're the one that brought this topic up.
I want you to be more amazed at the fact that he shot 60 on Creek. Now, again, not PGA Tour tournament condition. Totally get it. But the fact that he shot the course record, and I didn't even know it was happening. And I found out on hole 18, I knew he was playing good. I saw him birdie 5 or 6 times. I was like, dang, he's really lighting it up. Apparently that was the whole day. Apparently he was lighting it up the whole day. But I just can't believe you're not more amazed. Shocked. I'm not saying you're shocked, but you're not more amazed at a 60.
It's a really good round. I don't know what you want from me.
You're just too much right now, dude. Anyway.
Okay, well, Zane, let's talk about our round today. How do you feel like you played?
I played like crap on the front, and I picked it up on the back.
You played much better on the back.
I had about, 3 birdies?
You had 3 birdies. Would you shoot 1 or 2 under?
On the back, shot 1 under on the. No, I shot even on the back. If I had 3 birdies, I went bogey, and then I threw in another bogey on the par 3.
That's right.
So it would have been even on the back, 2 over on the front.
Gotcha.
No. Yeah, 2 over on the front. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's exactly right. So I shot 74.
I have no idea what I shot, but I did come away with a new philosophy.
You probably shot 75 or 76.
I think I was worse than that.
No, it's pretty close. You had those few doubles, so that would have made ours a little bit more disparate. So it would probably been 76.
I think it was worse than that because I didn't have a birdie all day.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, you're right. It would have been worse than that. It would have been
about 77, 78.
That's true.
So I'm trying to think how many bogeys I had. I think I only had like 1 or 2.
That's true. That makes a little bit more sense. It being that instead.
It was probably another 77. Shout out to me.
Yeah, shout out to Zach.
4 straight rounds of 77.
Like Zach always says, shout out to Ireland.
Well, shout out to Ireland.
Doesn't make any sense.
I came with a new philosophy, and that is never try and hit the ball straight. It's stupid and it doesn't work.
I just do what works, man. Like I tell students all the time, I don't care what your ball flight looks like as long as it's consistent and we don't see crazy numbers. Like if we're seeing crazy spin numbers with a fade, we're probably hitting down on the ball a little too much. Probably need to fix that. Zach was hitting these like beautiful, like 10-yard fades
with my irons.
With the irons, it was just not rising. You wasn't hitting too far down on it. Just beautiful. I mean, it was just gorgeous. And if he had put himself in some better positions, he would have scored better. But he had a few shots went awry off the tee and then into greens. Putted great. You putted good.
Putted really well. I was really happy with the way I putted. The greens were a little bit
over 10 feet.
The greens were a little bit slower today than they typically are.
They were slower than before, yeah. They were still quick.
They're still quick.
Downhill, you can still get a
definitely
quick
allowed me to be more aggressive with the stroke, and I didn't feel like I was going to roll too far by.
Sure.
Which probably helped a lot. Well, not probably. It definitely helped a lot. Because when I feel like I can attack putts, I feel like I'm a pretty good putter. But
yeah.
I think the new philosophy might work. We'll try it out again this week when I play Tommy, but just trying to work the ball every time I hit it instead of trying to hit a straight shot, I think is smart.
Okay.
But anyway, let's get into the news.
Get into the news.
Shout out to Keemstar. Alrighty. So first up, well, I don't want to join this newsletter. First up, Graham McDowell was suspended from Live Golf following a doping violation. Sunday, this is a article by Golf WRX. On Sunday, Live golfer Grant McDowell made the shocking announcement that he'd received a one-tournament suspension by Live Golf after violating the league's anti-doping policy. The banned substance, R-methamphetamine, was apparently in a nasal decongestant the Irishman was taking during Live Nashville. So,
what do you think about it, Zach?
You know what's so funny? I saw this and I was like, I wonder if he mentions there. Yeah. Well, so I love the fact.
Can we just read? Why don't we just read his statement first?
Yeah, let's read his statement.
I'll go ahead and say it. So he said, ahead of Live Nashville, I was struggling with severe congestion that was affecting my sleep. In an effort to manage it, I used a generic Vicks nasal decongestant without realizing it was on the banned list. As a professional golfer, I understand the importance of checking all medications and the option to apply for a therapeutic use exemption. Unfortunately, I do not think this is due to the over-the-counter nature of this medicine. I deeply regret this oversight. I fully accept the sanctions imposed by Liv. Liv's anti-doping policy is designed to be thorough and transparent, unlike some other tours. Scoff, scoff. Liv enforces these rules rigorously, which made this situation particularly challenging for me. However, I respect the need for the rules and penalties. They are essential for maintaining the integrity of the sport. I am proud of my 22-year career and the way I've conducted myself throughout it. Now I'm focusing on moving forward and getting back on the golf course. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at Live Chicago. Yeah. I mean, he owned it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so what I find funny about this article, okay? They use the term of the substance instead of what the substance was in. They call it the banned substance, R-methamphetamine, was apparently in a nasal decongestion of the eye. I think it's funny that I think it's funny just they have to find a way to vilify Grant McDowell.
I don't think they were trying to vilify Grant McDowell. They just said that it was this substance and it was apparently in a nasal decongestant. I mean, I don't think that's spinning the story.
I think it is a little bit.
Nah, what would be spinning the story is Grant McDowell sanctioned for doping. You know, that would have been it. And then they said he took R-methamphetamine before Live Nashville. That would have been that would have been spinning the story. But I think, again, I do think it's good that he said what he said. And I have heard of stories on some other tours where they take things that are much more, let's say, performance enhancing.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
yeah,
I know of a college teammate who would take certain chemicals to enhance his performance. Great golfer, but yeah, he did it as well. I'm starting to think I should have, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. This is just one of those things. It's just he didn't look at the bottle or whatever. He needed it in a quick fix. He should have checked.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think those guys would have agents or people next to him that would be like, here, let me take that and look. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But who knows? Who knows?
But why do you think that substance banned? Is it?
It's just that drug in it, dude. That's the banned drug on the list, and so if he takes anything with the banned drug on the list,
I'd have to look at like the effects of R-methamphetamine. I just want to know why that is a performance enhancer. I mean, you don't have to do it now.
We literally have like the world's largest computer in front of us.
What?
We literally have Google right here. What does it do? You said it's R-methamphetamine?
R methamphetamine.
Is it like hyphen? Like R hyphen?
R hyphen methamphetamine.
No spaces?
Yeah, no spaces.
Okay. This just says methamphetamine. This is not pulling up anything about R methamphetamine. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it, bud.
Okay.
Yep, and it's in a Vicks Vapo inhaler, among other things. But it's also known as idesoxyepinephrine. Jesus. It's in the Vicks Vapo inhaler, among other things. Is a sympathomimetic decongestant and stimulant medication. So it basically is an antihistamine. It does the same thing an antihistamine does.
Yeah, National Institute of Health. Authors also probe suggestive effects, including the ability to breathe, energy, performance, and endurance.
Oh, so it makes you even it enhances endurance.
Wow. Enhances endurance.
That's why he looked so sporty in Live Nashville. I was wondering why he had a little more pep in his step.
According to the NIH, that's what it does. So there you go.
Well, we should always believe what the NIH says.
Anyways. We called it a little bit early last week on Nelly Corda, who took a 7 on a par 3 again.
Yep.
I was devastated when I found out, man.
You were devastated?
Devastated.
This is how devastated I was. And
Bro,
if
you just don't care about America, that's why.
If you don't see a change, that's because,
dude, you gotta care about American gold medals, dude. We almost lost to China this year.
Who did win the gold medal?
Who did?
Yeah, who did?
Kang.
Kang won it?
Wait, was it Kang? I'm gonna look really bad.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna look
really bad.
You are. It was Ko, bro.
Ko, shit.
Ko, bro. Not Kang, gang. Ko, bro. Not Kang, gang.
Yeah, Lydia Ko. Lydia Ko from New Zealand.
You know what? New Zealand needs a win, right? I mean, New Zealand are the weird people that pronounce the word no like nar, like they're growling at you.
Nar.
Yeah.
But
by the way, in person, it's one of the funniest things, and you can never get over it. You just can't. So I know specifically one person who may listen to this. I don't know if she listens to it every day, but not every day. But we only do it once a week. Anyway, I know one person that might see that. I hope we clip it and put it out there. Like, it is the funniest thing in the world just to hear it over and over. Nar. It's the funniest thing. Anyway.
So New Zealand won 10 gold medals in the Olympics. I know of 2 of them. And I watched the other one that wasn't the one it's called. I watched that one happen.
You watched the what?
Can you guess what event New Zealand won a gold medal in that I watched?
Okay.
Can you guess?
No.
What if I gave you a hint?
I still want to guess it. Just go ahead and talk to the audience.
Come on, man. They won the high jump.
No, they won the high jumps. Hey.
It went to a showdown with an American guy and a Kiwi. And the Kiwi won.
Well, Kiwis would know how to jump high. I don't even know where I was going with that one.
I don't know either. All right.
There's not a lot of fences. There are not a lot of fences in New Zealand, right?
I feel like there would be because of the dangerous wildlife in that area of the world.
You think? Lots of fences just for that?
I don't know. What about a turtle fence, you know? Are there turtles in New Zealand?
Tortoise. I think you mean tortoise. think you mean tortoise. Tortoises.
Yes,
right.
tortoises.
Tortoises.
Shout out to Lydia Ko. Congratulations on the W. No Americans in the top 3, sadly. Most depressing thing ever. Well, not ever. You know, there's a lot of depressing stuff. But moving right along, I want to talk about 2 things having to do with the Wyndham Championship. Number 1, Zane, you brought up before we started the situation with Matt Kuchar.
Yes. Yeah, brought it up. Yep. That was me. I brought it up. Me.
You did.
Hi. So if nobody was watching the Wyndham, it's because it's not a big tournament. No, it's not small. So the Wyndham, basically, they were having a lot of problems with rain over there.
There was a hurricane.
There was a hurricane. So they were having a lot of problems with rain and wind and lightning. So basically, they didn't even play round 1 until Friday. They didn't even get it in. So they had to play 36, and they had and they ran out of light, on the last hole with Matt Kuchar's group still to come in. Now, Matt Kuchar had no chance of winning. Right, he had no chance of winning the tournament, or basically just finishing out the hole. Here's the thing, though: if I'm incorrect, you can always post in the comments if I'm incorrect. But I believe you have to finish the round in order to get paid, right? Because otherwise, it's DNF.
I believe that's the case.
Finish. So, there was I don't know what the deal was, but apparently Matt Kuchar apologized. So he came back. He was the only one that came back. There were other people that decided not to come back. They decided to go, I guess, to the next tournament on the schedule. Matt decided to finish out because he was in the fairway. So he decided to finish out where he had marked his ball the previous night before.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually apologized for this, saying, quote, again, it stinks too. Nobody wants to be that guy that's showing up today. 1 person, 1 hole. Not even 1 hole, half a hole to putt. So apologies to the tournament, to everybody that had to come out. I know it stinks. I know the ramifications. I know it stinks. Certainly, I apologize to force everybody to come out here. That's just so stupid. And it almost sounds insincere. It's like, dude, the rules are you have to finish to get paid.
Yeah, because I believe if you don't finish, it's DNF.
Yes.
So you go to the bottom of the leaderboard.
So the fact he's apologizing for this just doesn't make any sense.
I think the main criticism he was getting was he hit a bad tee shot on 18 and said, I'm done today.
Oh, really?
Is I think the criticism he was getting. But if he did not play well Sunday. 1, he didn't play well Sunday. But also, if he's playing poorly and it's super dark outside, why would I what? Should I play out the hole in pitch black and take an 8 and go further down the leaderboard, take a worse paycheck because the weather?
Well, listen to this. So TUGR, they posted something on X, and he said, dunking on Cooch will be easy today. At first, I thought the move was dumb, but after sleeping on it, I can see his side. Here's a few thoughts. He said, number 1, he's completely within the rules. Number 2, his job is quite literally on the line. This is the best point for the 2025 for 2025 for priority placement. He has 4 years. Number 3, he has 4 years until the senior tour, and every year it'll get harder to keep his PGA Tour status.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 4, he clearly had a beef with the PGA Tour's handling of the last few holes. It is what it is, but he used the tools within his grasp to make a statement. We've all had our form of silent protest against our bosses. I don't think it was a protest. I think he just wanted to finish up.
Well, I think it might have been. I don't know about protests. That's going a little far.
It is.
I think it might have been this is stupid. It's it doesn't like the TV camera can do tricks with light to make it seem like it's a lot brighter outside than it actually is, and I've seen it a couple times in tournaments where they finish super late for whatever reason, where they're like, oh yeah, and this isn't what it actually looks like outside. It looks like this, and they turn the filter off, and it's like almost pitch black outside.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it was. Is it was so dark, and they were like, "Oh, come on, you got a couple holes left. Let's pick it up." Blah 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 blah. And he's like, "It's a bad tee shot because you can't see anything." And he's like, oh, "Screw this, I'm done. I'll come back tomorrow."
Well, and the other thing you have to remember is they were on the course for 10 hours. Okay, so the tour itself deserves a little bit of blame, and the fact that like they're allowing a lot of these guys to play 5.5-hour rounds.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. If you know tournament golf, especially when you look at the groups, they're playing in threesomes. That's stupid.
5.5 hour for a threesome.
5.5 hour rounds and you have caddies.
Yeah.
5.5 hour rounds, you have a caddy with you. That's just ludicrous. I don't care who you are. They do need to, again, as put not so eloquently by Mr. Koepka, we need to start stroking guys. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just stupid.
It's my favorite thing.
Stroking guys is the best. Mm-hmm. But it needs to end where these players get minutes, like 3 or 4 minutes to stand over their putts. I don't literally mean stand over the putt to hit it at address. I mean like.
Yeah, he's not talking like Brian Harman. He's talking like.
Yeah, I'm just talking about taking so much time before the shot itself. Again, there's no excuse for that. Even if you limited it to 60 seconds, that's more than enough time to get the job done.
Most of the time, yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. To look at each side of the putt and then say, all right, let's go. 60 seconds? A lot of time.
And I don't necessarily love the idea of a shot clock because there's certain circumstances where you need to take a little bit more time.
No. No. It needs to be done. If you look, if the people back in the day, Ben Hogan's of the world, if they could come back and see kind of how long these guys are taking on the hole, if like you had Harry Vardon or any of those even older guys than Ben Hogan, if you had any of them come back and you had them look at how long these guys were taking to read putts, even they would tell you that this is just ridiculous. It used to be. Again, a lot of these courses are a little bit longer because there's a lot more room from green to tee. But if you look at like the average round back then, you know, they were playing twosomes, threesomes as well. You look at their rounds, it's 4.5 hours at maximum.
Yeah.
Not at minimum, at maximum 4.5 hours.
Well, and so what I would do instead of a shot clock is like have a allotted time per hole.
Too subjective. Shot clock. You have the ability. I think it should start whenever the player gets up to the ball, like whenever they stop walking.
What would you put the time at?
60 seconds. 90 seconds. I'd give them 90. Give them 90, more than enough time. They'll never want for time again if they got 90 seconds to hit the golf shot.
Brian Harman would.
Yeah, Brian Harman. Okay, stroke the dude. Like stroke him. Really, really hard. Stroke that guy.
I think it makes more sense to do it like, okay, you have to be on pace rather than a shot clock. I just think it makes more sense to do that.
You're wrong. You're wrong because that happens in tournaments already and they don't follow it. So,
well, they don't follow it. So it doesn't happen.
Zach, too subjective.
It's not subjective.
It is, though, because you bring in the fact of lost balls, right? You bring in the fact of lost balls. Like if two people lose their ball off the tee, then you're taking more than the allotted time for that hole, but maybe you're taking less than the allotted time for the next hole, right? You have things like that. We were behind pace for 2 holes during the Georgia Open, and that's because 2 of us lost balls off the tee. You're going to have situations where people lose balls. Maybe all 3 guys can't find their ball, hard to find their ball because it's in the rough or whatever. That's too hard to calculate. What you got to do is just say 90 seconds. Once you're up at your ball, 90 seconds. You have 3 minutes to look for your ball. We already timed that. Why can't we time the amount of time like to hit the golf shot?
Okay.
I'm right. You're wrong.
I disagree, but it's fine.
It's okay. You can disagree. You're wrong.
I just think we got to be more strict about pace of play rules.
Yes, your way is much less strict. My way is much more strict and allows a lot of leeway there. 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Super easy.
Okay. All right. I mean, I disagree, but that's fine. That's fine.
A minute and a half to hit your golf ball.
It's fine, dude. It's fine. Let's talk about the winner of the Wyndham Championship. Aaron Rai shoots 64 in the final round.
The Rai guy.
And he just kind of took over the tournament. He ended up beating Max Greiserman. And it's kind of a big flip because he trailed by 4 with 5 to go, and then Greiserman made a quad and a double. Sounds like me during my PAT on the final 5 holes. So that pretty much sealed the deal for Raihu. A very, very good 64 in the final round.
Yeah.
His first win on tour, another first-time winner this year.
Aaron Rai, that's his first time?
First-time winner on the PGA Tour.
Are you sure about that?
I am 100% sure.
He won something a few. Oh, he won twice on the. Oh, okay. Never mind. He won the Scottish Open in 2020. I knew he'd won another big tournament, but yeah, you're right. That was the first one.
JJ Spawn finished in 3rd, 2 shots back.
He's kind of making a comeback, isn't he? He dropped off a little bit after when was he making that run? Was that 2 years ago? Whenever we were,
it was
3 years ago.
It was about 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, he was on.
He won the tournament before the Masters and got in.
Yes. Yep, I do remember that. We did a video. We did an episode on that, actually.
Yeah.
So real quick, just wanted to go into, Matt Kuchar whenever he was talking with Golf Channel. So he was talking with Golf Channel, and he said, quote, "We were so far past when we should have stopped playing. We saw what Max did on hole 16. They should have blown the hole there. I feel bad. The poor kid should have won this tournament by me not playing. It may show Max he has an important shot to hit." You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So maybe it was a little bit of a protest.
Maybe it was a little bit of protest, but
based off that statement.
Well, you know what? I don't care. It's one of those things where he was within the rules to do it. He needs to do it in order to make money. And they have done that in the past. They did that in the 3-way playoff between I can't remember which tournament it was. It was super dark. They should have came back the next day, but they asked the players. Players decided to move on. It's like that's all. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, it's a good idea until it's not, right? But it was Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, and somebody else. I can't remember who. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of laughable how long that went on. And they were, again, another example. They didn't play 36 that day, but they were coming in whenever it was getting really dark. And they, like, maybe 5.5, 6 hour round. And that's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's just so unacceptable. Anyway, I digress. But Matt, I don't feel anything for this Matt Kuchar thing. I don't feel like solidarity, Matt Kuchar. I don't feel like shame on you, Matt Kuchar. I don't feel any of those. I feel nothing inside. I'm dead inside, actually, Zach, which is why I'm going to take another sip of my Red Wave.
Right there with you.
Anyway.
Wait, you're having the red wave?
Yeah, I said that at the beginning of the thing. Red Wave.
Oh.
Free State Smith
Nice.
Brewing Co. proudly presents the Red Wave. It has all the flavor of anti-Patriots tears that the 2022 midterms would 2022 midterm elections were meant to provide. Dad's a funny one. He's a funny guy. So what else is there to talk about?
Well, you do have the USAM women's side.
Okay.
Rianne Maliksi. Huh?
No, go ahead. Keep going. I do
Rianne,
have something I can talk about.
Rianne Maliksi won the U.S. Women's AM and adds that to her trophy collection along with the U.S. Junior Girls title. And she beat Asterisk Tally. What a name. Asterisk Tally. Sorry.
No, you're joking, right?
I'm not
the
kidding.
name is Asterisk. Like
Asterisk Asterisk. Tally Talley.
It's got to be fake. That's fake news.
That is the worst name I've ever.
It's a bad name. Her parents didn't love her.
Anyway, the U.S. Women's Amateur went down on Sunday at Southern Hills. Just 3 weeks after Tally was beat by Maliksi in the U.S. Girls Junior Final, she ends up getting beat 3-2 at Southern Hills. Maliksi from the Philippines beat Tally 8-7 in the championship match of the U.S. Junior Girls Final. That's the largest championship match blowout in tournament history. And gotcha. Maliksi is the second player to win both events of the same year, joining Eun Jung Sung.
Filipino, right?
Yes, she's Filipino. And Eun Jung Sung is... Oh, no. Sorry. Apologies. Maliksi is committed to play for Duke in 2025.
Nice.
Yeah, so shout out to her. Shout out to Duke getting a good young player in their women's golf program.
Blue Devil.
In the ACC.
I hate them. So
I don't hate them.
Here's to you, Pastor Doug.
They're not worth hating.
Kind of worth hating.
They're not worth hating.
They're kind of worth hating.
Why?
I don't know. They just are. So, real quick, I do last kind of business here. Since last week, I do want to kind of talk about what happened with the bonuses and get your take on this. So basically what happened, Jesus, my computer, man.
Got to put my detective glasses on for this.
Do you now? So essentially, PGA Tour confirmed that bonuses would be paid out for this year's Comcast Business Top 10. And that is the top 10 of the FedEx Cup points list at the end of the year. So we just finished the end of the season. That, I believe, was the end of the season. Now we're going to postseason. We're going to playoff time. Okay, so the Wyndham was the last one. PGA Tour confirms the bonuses for these top 10 players, that the top 10 FedEx Cup points earners. Scotty Scheffler obviously took the top spot, but it was he'll take home an extra $8 million. All the way down the list. So you got Xander, Rory. You got Xander's going to be taking $6 million, Rory 4.8, and so on and so forth, all the way down to Shane Lowry with $2 million extra dollars.
Shane Lowry was 10th on the FedEx list?
10th on the FedEx list. That's correct.
Really?
Yeah, he had a good season. He had 6 top 10s.
He didn't win though.
He had 1 win.
Did he?
Yeah.
Where?
I'm not quite sure. I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, Shane Lowry. He had a win and 6 top 10s.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Shane Lowry.
Shout out to Ireland. Shout out to Ireland.
Shout out to Ireland.
Yeah, screw Ireland. Anyway, why are you doing a We talked about this. You're not wearing glasses unless you're doing a character.
I put my detective glasses on. You said you had something interesting.
That's very true. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, what do you think about this, Zach? Was this the best way to allocate funds? Was this the worst way to allocate funds? What are you thinking?
Top 10 FedEx. Where are these bonuses coming from? Just out of curiosity.
Well, that's a great question, dude. From out of nowhere.
I love when money just appears out of nowhere.
Don't you though? Don't you love how 125 million just?
It's my favorite thing that big corporations do. Just have all this money
existence.
laying around. We just found it in the back closet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a lot like our country.
Non-profits do. It's my favorite thing that
NGOs, non-governmental organizations.
Well,
even governmental organizations do that a lot, don't they?
Yeah. So, well, they just go into debt.
No, they definitely lose track of like how much they're giving people.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, what was this the best way to allocate these mystery bonuses?
I mean, they're not mystery bonuses. We know how much they are. What are you talking about?
Mystery on their origins.
I mean, they probably came from the general fund of the PGA.
That could be from anywhere, dude.
Yeah, I know. Maybe Comcast sponsored it. And
I don't hate it. I hate it. I
hate it.
Well, let me finish. I don't hate it. I understand the reasoning behind it, but I think at the end, yes.
What's the reasoning behind that?
The reasoning would be these are the 10 best players on tour this year. They're the people that were drawing in revenue from them winning. So we're going to give them a little bit more money.
What about the people that were? What about 11?
Huh?
What about 11?
That'd be my gripe. That'd be my gripe with it. Is it only pays out top 10?
Yeah,
it's very well. And the weird thing is about it too is you'd think a bonus like this would be more spread out.
Do you only pay the top 10 people in any field?
Yeah, you think a bonus like this would be more spread
out?
Not
yet. Answer my question. Do you ever pay out?
No.
In any field? The answer is no. The answer is hell no, you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Can I talk?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
So I think the appeal of a bonus like this would be to spread it out more so that more people are seeing the benefit. Kind of like what you were talking about. You got to pay out more of the field.
Yeah.
Because let's be very honest about the guys that are in that top 10. They're probably not going to notice much of a difference in their bank balance when that check comes in.
Facts.
Whereas like a guy that's sitting at now it depends on the guy, obviously, because there's people that are toward the bottom of the tour that still get a lot of brand deals because they're very brandable. Shout out to Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth.
Sure.
But there's guys that aren't as popular, don't get those brand deals, don't have the same kind of name recognition, that only make money from the fact that they're on the PGA Tour and they're playing in events. That would probably see a greater benefit to getting a bonus like that. And I think now this is going back into the LIV versus PGA thing. I think one of the things that could cause more exits from the PGA Tour is you get guys that are like hanging around in PGA Tour events. They don't win a lot or maybe even ever, but they're hanging around. A lot of top 10s, a lot of top 20s, but they just can't push it over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
What's to stop someone that's in that position when it seems like on the PGA Tour, the only thing that they care about is the top, and even then, not really, like the top 15 guys. Like the top 15 guys, we're going to promote them. We're going to pay them a ton of money. We're going to do all this stuff. These top 15 guys. But if I'm like right outside of that, or I'm not quite as brandable, I might be the number 14 guy, but I'm not quite as brandable as number 17. Number 17 is getting a bonus because he's more popular than me, even though I'm playing better than him. If there is another like wave that goes to Live, because let's be honest about Live, there's a lot of golfers on there that aren't that competitive. You look at the bottom of the season leaderboard on Live, there's a lot of guys on there that aren't that competitive, that don't finish top 20 ever. They're often at the bottom of the leaderboard. And that's why they have the whole relegation system and why a lot of those guys aren't going to be on Live next year. But then who do you fill those spots with? I would fill those spots with guys that are sitting and consistently making cuts on the PGA Tour.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's not even just the mules, right? You're talking about the mules that just make cuts, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Get the job run. Let me give you the next 10 guys that missed out on these bonuses. You ready?
Yeah.
Patrick Cantlay, Ben On, Russell Henley, Tony Finau, Ashke Bhatia, Matthew Pavon, Robert McIntyre, Sepp Straka, Justin Thomas, Brian Harmon. Now you tell me, like, what keeps those guys there other than majors?
Well, Justin Thomas is because he's sucking off the Tita Tiger and he won't stop, never stopping, you know?
Seriously, though, what keeps them there other than majors? Loyalty? Which is what? If you miss enough cuts, is the PGA going to go, well, you were loyal, you can stay on?
No.
No. The answer is no. And the answer should be no, right? If you're not playing well, Live will cut you if you're not playing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's just stupid. It's just stupid. So, like, these guys, the only people on this list that ought to stay there is maybe the Ben Ons, the Russell Henleys. I mean, Tony Finau's one, so now he doesn't need to be on there. Bhatia, maybe, stays on there for the majors. Pavon stays on there for the majors. McIntyre. But, like, even Justin Thomas and Brian Harmon, why would you stay? Yeah. I don't know a reason. You're going to make just as much money off of the Saudis as you are doing that.
Yeah, probably more.
And don't give me this crap about, shady money. It's stupid.
I mean, we've already talked about the shady money.
We've already talked about that in length. We've already talked about that in length. We know that there's shady money going into the PGA through these other corporations and other organizations. So we already know the shady origins of some of the money from there.
Yeah.
The only reason is because there's certain people in power and with wealth and influence that don't like the Saudi government. That's what it is. You know what I mean? That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, man, if I'm one of these players, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Obviously, after they made the FedEx Cup, you might as well play the FedEx Cup playoffs. You know what I mean? You might as well play the FedEx Cup playoffs. But after that, after the season's over, after the Live season's over, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 2 or 3 more people jump.
Do you think pretty big names or?
Yeah. All those guys I listed are big names. Maybe
no,
not.
I'm saying, so you think it's going to be those guys?
Maybe. I really think after all the rumors, Tony Finau still has never come out and said he's not going to live. You know, he still never said, I never wanted to go to live. He just said, I'll be staying on the PGA Tour. Those are two different statements.
Yeah.
So the rumor was true. You just stayed on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So what's to stop a guy like Finau going, I get more time with my – and he's a super big family guy. I get more time with my family and my wife. I get to play – I still get to play as much golf as I want.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go all over the world.
I think of the guys on the tour right now, I think Finau is probably the most likely to be on there next year.
Especially after this.
Well, yeah, and
there's some 14.
There's some other stuff going on in his personal life that he could use that extra cash.
Gotcha. Care to share with the class?
Yeah, so a bunch of people that helped him out in his childhood, helped him with golf lessons or getting him on at courses to play or practice.
Yeah.
They are now demanding like half of his earnings on the PGA Tour.
You're joking.
I know, it's serious. It's a lawsuit. Yeah. They're now demanding that he pay them back for. I forget what it was like.
It's like a class action?
No, there's two main different ones. I don't think it's class action.
Is it a golf coach?
I think one of them is.
Oh my God.
For
or like a golf professional.
Unpaid services or something. I can pull it up, Tony.
Dude, if you give somebody golf lessons for free, that's on
you, dog.
It's on you. I mean, you might be doing it as in like, hey, like later down the road, but it's still a gift.
Yeah.
It's still a gift. That's why again, I'll give tips. I'll give a couple tips for free, but I'll giving lessons for free is just not. I've seen too many people get kind of gypped from it. So I don't do that. I don't do free golf lessons. Because that's my job. I mean, do you have a contractor go and just do someone's roof for free?
Yeah.
The answer is no. Right? The answer is no, you don't. Even if it's a cost, you're still paying them something. So even if they give you a discount, I'll do discounted lessons, but I ain't never doing free lessons. It's not happening.
Okay, let me see if I can find.
Unless it's for charity. I'll do it for charity. I've done that before for charity, but that's the only time. Anyway, real quick, but yeah, him, and then I also think Brian Harman would do well to think about the shift. I think those two guys would do well to think about it. I do feel for the younger players who want to make their names known in the majors, stuff like that. Not names known in the majors, but want to get to the majors, championships a little bit easier. So I do understand if like the Robert McIntyres and Batias don't go, but I do think that Brian Harman and Tony Finau would do well to leave. So that's just me.
So
also Jason Day.
This
by the way.
is
just saying.
So. Okay. Both the two guys' names, Hola and Hunter, who are not working together, say they want repayment for loans and other work and services they say they provided to the family between 2006 and 2009. And their claim is it totals about $1.1 million. It
was a loan.
They also seek separately up to 20% each of Tony Finau's career earnings, which could be in the tens of millions.
That's just so dumb. Caddies don't make 20%.
Yeah. People, and so this is a quote from Hunter, one of the two guys. People ask why we think we're entitled to his earnings. We ask back, who risked $500,000 on a 17-year-old kid who hadn't done anything yet in pro golf? We deserve to be compensated for that. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't.
You know how
you
your
made the
conference-
decision to put
Yeah.
$500,000 on this kid, allegedly.
Again,
$500,000 on
if
this
it's a loan, I understand. But
Yeah.
you don't get 20%, and the loan would have some kind of repayment method.
Yes.
Loans always need like an amortization schedule. Like yeah, that's just ridiculous. I mean, borderline the other R word, but I'm not going to say that because we're on YouTube. It's just ridiculous. That's stupid. And the fact that they would think that they just get that stuff again, you might even have said with the parents, he'll pay us back someday. But you're only getting
they have a contract.
But you're only getting back what you gave them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're only going to get back what he gave him, and even if you do get back more, that's going to be that's going to be in probably 5%, 10% range, not 20% of his career earnings.
Yeah, that's
each,
crazy.
Which would make 40%, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, each. So 40% of his total career.
That's just and who are these guys? If you don't mind me asking, are these
apparently they were family friends of the family. They started out as family friends of like the father.
But are they golf guys or?
I'm trying to figure it out.
No, it's a Utah County businessman, part-time filmmaker. He filed a complaint in 2021 alleging a breach of contract of a two-part written agreement. There is a written agreement. If he says if that's in the court document, it's definitely a two-part written agreement he and his business associates made with Finau family back in 2007. So Tuesday he's not giving up. Well, I'd love to see this. I'm going to be honest with you. We'll do some more digging. I'd love to see this two-part written agreement and what it actually entails.
It should be public, right? Court records?
It just depends on the laws of the state of Utah, right? Oh, Utah Appellate Court tosses out one of the two lawsuits.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. There is case text on the trial. Maybe I'll read through it and I'll come back to you with some more information next week.
We'll do it next week. We'll
do a deep dive on the Finau.
I'll put it on the calendar and I'll add you to it to remind us to read it.
And I'll have these glasses on for that episode.
Oh yeah, your detective glasses on?
These aren't my detective glasses.
Those are your private eye glasses.
Yeah, they're incognito, baby.
Ooh, you can't see me.
Incognito.
You can't see me. Well, I think that's about it for today's episode.
I think that is all we have for tonight's episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to check out Barely Out of Bounds merch, make sure you go down to the description below. Check it out. We got hoodies, hats, t-shirts, and more.
Oh, we said that
right down there. And then also, if you want to get a shirt like this, 366. Oh,
don't do it.
366 golf apparel. Link is also in the description. That's my affiliate link. 15% off your order if you use code TEEDOFF15. And they got great deals on there all the time. So make sure you check them out. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been a great show. Really enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.
It's been swell, guys. Been swell.
I hate you.